Today's video is matzah making on Red Robin Farm. And this is Adam. He's already made his dough, and it came from this cookbook, Baking with Julia. This is also the cookbook that the wedding cake recipe is in, that he'll be making for Anna's wedding in June. But today, he is making matzah. This is Monday of Easter week, and we are having a Seder Supper at our church, and so he's making matzah bread for the supper. This is a pasta maker that he's used over the years. It's very fun with the children. But now he's using it just to press out the matzah so he doesn't have to do it by hand. And he's using this nice baking table that he's made from an old kitchen table and raised up quite a bit on the bottom. You can see how the table leg is now fixed onto a platform, and underneath that are rollers. So he can roll this table out from the wall. It usually sits back there underneath that shelf, and he can roll it out here and work on it and then roll it back. This is, honey, is this the first time we've used it this way?
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time. Matzah is really a cracker, and so you can make it early like this and actually allow it to dry out for several days, and it will be just fine. So we'll come back later and watch the baking of the matzah.
If you don't do that step, then it gets way too long.
So you fold them over like a V, okay? Put them through. And that really flattens it out.
And they come out thicker.
That's more of a square. Is that the, what shape are you going for?
There'll be long ribbons about 4 inches wide.
Oh.
And then I'll cut them into 4-inch squares, more or less.
So a 4-inch square would be kind of an individual serving?
Oh, an individual loaf, I guess you would call it.
Mm-hmm. Do they make pasta makers that are wider than that you could get a...
I don't know. After this, it goes really fast.
Mm-hmm. Is this enough for the whole dinner?
Oh, yeah.
Do we use matzah just once or
all
throughout the whole? Okay. Now, is this is something you cook on the stovetop or in the oven?
On that.
Uh-huh.
Upside down sheet.
Okay.
500 degrees. Don't squeeze. You'll burn your fingers.
Looks like you're putting a sandwich in there. They kind of have to be long ribbons because they can't be any wider than that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. start to look like fabric almost. They have that drape. Oh. Mm-hmm. Now, what's the difference in a matzah and a pita? What makes a pita bubble
Leavened.
up?
Oh, well,
Or
that's just how you cook it. These will bubble if I cook them the way.
if you cooked them on a skillet, these would bubble up too?
Yeah, that bubble even
Cooking
on
them in
that
the oven?
sheet,
Okay.
Yeah. That's just, the bubbles come from water in the dough.
Mm-hmm. So what are the ingredients in this bread?
This is flour, salt, water, and pepper.
Wow. So it's really just flour and water
Salt.
and salt. I mean,
and
salt and pepper. Wow. So the little flecks in there, that's the pepper, right? Interesting. This is what we used for communion crackers that one time when they were so noisy. When everybody chomped down at the same time at communion, it was a very noisy, crackly sanctuary. What does that knob do?
Changes the
How tight it is?
how tight that
Are
is.
you trying to get them real thin now?
Yeah, we're gonna go to 6.
Do they ever have a tendency to break as they get thinner? Not really.
Not if you're careful.
Is it the gluten that holds it together? Is it?
It just bread holds together.
Mm-hmm. Adam has started the last rolling through the pasta maker of the matzah bread. He says that this dough is wetter than pasta is. It's a very wet dough, and so he had to apply new flour to each piece. He cut a lot of them to make them more manageable, and they are very thin now. Very thin. There's quite a bit of them. You see how we've expanded on the table. There's matzah hanging all over. This will be the last one before he cooks them. This is a true unleavened bread. There's no leavening in here. What happens when they cook is that he says the water heats. The water that's in there, there's only water and flour, salt, and pepper. And the water heats and turns to steam. And then the steam, of course, has to expand and makes bubbles in the bread. So it kind of gives the look of a leavening, but it's not. Look at that long drape. So he's going through each one. I've been helping him a little bit on some of them, holding on one end in case they get too sticky while he gets it on the other end. And here's our nice big canister of flour. We've transferred a lot of our kitchen goods, dry goods, into glass just because we like it better. I like how it looks. It's tired of plastic. That's a big piece. Looking for new spots. Trixie is interested in what's happening. Hi, Trixie.
You see how thin one of these is?
Yeah, let's look at this. Oh, watch out, Trixie. Step on your
One
paw.
of these, it will be small enough. You can touch it.
Look how thin that is. You can see my fingers through it. Oh my goodness. Okay, we'll take a little break here and come back when it's time to cook them. We're at the end of the last rolling. Adam said this recipe was 4 cups of flour and 1.5 cups of water, and it made all this matzah on this table. We've got some over there. We have some draped there, one over there, and a couple over there. This is a lot of flour, a lot of bread. If you want to feed people. Oh, don't let Trixie that one. Get that one. She was very hopeful. All right, 500-degree oven. He's going to throw it on that pan. Don't burn yourself, honey.
I'm not. You don't squeeze hard.
I'm sorry. I'm going to try to get in a spot where I won't be in your way. After
I'm going to be going back and forth.
So I'm going to get on this side. Here we
See how
go.
it's bubbling?
Yeah, let me zoom in here. This is one of those times when we say that Adam has asbestos fingers. Do you need a rack or anything, or are you just going to stick them right on there? Okay.
It's hot, so it'll help them dry out.
Mm-hmm.
See how they're bubbling?
Mm-hmm. So you wait for them to have a little brown on them?
Yeah.
So you really don't want long drapey ones because they would be hard to turn, wouldn't they?
Yeah, big open ones are easy. You just put them on the back of your hand and you flip them.
Mm-hmm.
But they're a little harder to manage.
You want me to take the flour away?
Sure.
Okay. Well, let's put it in there. The blessings of a small kitchen. You're always looking for a spot. He did say that if you mess one up and it gets a crinkle, you just put it back through the pasta maker and press it one more time. But they will be all different shapes. That's kind of part of the beauty of it. Oh, that looking stiff.
That one wasn't ready. So that's what it looks like when it comes out.
Let me turn this light on.
Get out! Go! Too many dogs.
So there's the matzah. Some of the later ones will probably be a little browner,
Yeah.
although just because the oven gets hotter and hotter.
No. It was hottest at the beginning.
So why do they get...
Because they'll heal them longer. I think that's impatient. You can look at them sometimes and see where they're a little gray because I undercook them.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Trixie. Trixie is a very pretty dog. She's got a beautiful tail. She's got a lot of fluff on those hindquarters. Nice red color. She has a very silly face, though. But she's starting to have very knowledgeable looks in her eyes when she looks at you. Hi, Trixie. What's going on? Are you my girl? Are you a good girl? Not right now?
She won't leave.
Don't get underfoot. This is the first matzah, which I had a piece of. And it's kind of chewy, and Adam says that's because they haven't dried out yet. I hope this is still recording. I can't really tell.
Well, you'll know when you play it back.
Mm-hmm. They're yummy, just the right amount of pepper, just a faint taste of pepper. Very pretty little bread. Trixie, what do you think about matzah bread? Are you in favor or opposed?
I think she's for it falling.
You're for it falling to the floor? What about Bobo, who's punching me on the back of my leg? Hello, Bobo. How are you today? Is your tail shimmering? Is that where you keep your magic? We've got a few more pieces. Oh, Bobo's really punching me now. So we're developing a nice little stack of matzahs here. Adam's continuing his rotation of cooking them. Isn't that a nice feeling? Beautiful look. They are so delicious. We've already each one of us snacked on one. Very light, faintest little bit of pepper. And they'll be very dry later on and crackly, like a cracker. And you can keep them for days.
Weeks, months.
Weeks. Put them in a container. Delicious. Thanks so much for joining us in this little kitchen escapade.